It's time for our second set of blocks. Are you ready? Hey everyone, Cristin Som here, and we are continuing with our Jingle All the Way quilt. So we just started yesterday and we finished our first two blocks. We did Jingle All the Way blocks. So don't forget that if you aren't caught up, don't worry, there's going to be a big break as I am leaving for vacation, and so we'll start back up when I get back. So Jingle All the Way, when you have these done, make sure to post them in the Cristin Creates group. And so we're going to go ahead and move on. So our next blocks, we have two again today, but these are going to be super simple. So what did you think, by the way, of those Jingle All the Way, the cutting of those? It was quite a bit of work, right? So this one's going to be very easy. We are going to work on the 9 patch blocks. So if you made a packet, grab your 9 patch blocks. Look at how simple. You can tell that it's going to be a simple one when there's almost nothing in the bag. So mine is on page 10. We have different books, so it will depend on the book that you have. But on the very older book, it's on page 10. So grab what you have in that packet, and we'll go over what we need for today. So for the 9 patch block, we need 2 blocks, and they are not identical. So you can put them however you want them, of course, but I'm going to show you the way that they have them in the book. All right, so we are going to grab, the first one is the black holly leaves fabric. I can separate them here. All right, so the black holly leaves fabric, this is one of the older fabrics that's been discontinued, but I don't have a substitute. So I think that means that our sponsor was able to get them for you for those that bought from Oma Darling's, their fabric kit. So it is the black holly leaves fabric, and we want this to be 2.5 by 2.5, and we want 5 pieces. All right, 5 pieces of this for the first 9 patch block. I'm going to do one 9 patch block and then the second one. All right, so I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. We are going to quilt these after we sew them all together. So that's totally optional, up to you, but I did back mine with fusible stabilizer with a 1/4 inch cut in. All right, so 5 pieces of this first one, the holly leaf. All right, and then the second one, and there's only 2 fabrics for each of the 9 patch blocks. So of this second one, it is going to be the red lattice fabric. All right, 2.5 by 2.5, and this one we only need 4 pieces. All right, 4 pieces of this one for the first 9 patch block. And again, you can put these together however you want. You can use whatever fabrics you want, but I'm sharing the information that's in the book. All right, so 4 pieces, 2.5 by 2.5, the red lattice fabric. All right, and that is for the first 9 patch block. So 5 pieces of the black, 4 pieces of the red, sew them all together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, and then for the second 9 patch block, the first fabric is the red holly leaves. I can get these separated. All right, so the red holly leaves fabric, and this one we want 5 pieces at 2.5 by 2.5. All right, and again, I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's completely up to you. This will be on batting, but I like to stabilize it anyway. Personal choice. All right, so 5 pieces, 2.5 by 2.5, the red holly leaves. This is for the second 9 patch block. All right, and then for the black fabrics, it is the black with white dots, and this one we need 4 pieces, and we want these 2.5 by 2.5. All right, 4 pieces of the black with the white dots on it. All right, so that is for the second 9 patch block. So we're going to sew those all together, like I said, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, the red and the black and the red and the black. I can do this. There we go. Okay, so after we have those all sewn together, then we are going to quilt it. So we want a piece of batting, one for each of the 9 patch blocks. So 2 pieces of batting. That is 7 by 7. All right, 7 by 7 for your batting today. And then we are going to quilt this with its bows. I don't remember the number. Let's see. Celebration 3. So Celebration 3 in a 6 by 6 quilting design. So that means you can use any quilting design that you want that is a 6 by 6. I'm going to use the Celebration 3. It is bows. I think that would be really cute on this. It'll be interesting to see how they lay out, because it'd be fun if there was like a bow on each of the 9 patch blocks, but I doubt it'll work out that way. But anyway, it'll be really cute, and I've never used that one before. It is in the Jingle All the Way quilt kit. So if you haven't purchased that, make sure to use the link underneath this video in the video notes. It is a direct link for our sponsor, an affiliate link for our sponsor, and it just takes you to Kimberbell, and then you type in Jingle All the Way to get that kit. All right, or you can buy, if you already have some of the Jingle All the Way, it will show all of the different quilt designs in that bundle. And if you already have some of them, then you can buy them separately if you prefer. So Celebration 3, you can buy that separately as well. So we want that in a 6x6, and that's all we're going to do today. We're going to sew these two, it's 9 pieces all together. We'll do them in rows. I'll show all of that in photos. We're going to sew each of the 2 sets together, and then we're going to quilt it. So actually, I'm going to bring it over to the computer because you know me, I'm going to want to put them together in one hooping. You can absolutely quilt them separately in separate hoops if you prefer, or you can join them together, and I'll show you how to do that. It's going to be really simple because it's just 2 quilting designs. All right, so let's go ahead and get started today. Hey everyone, so I'm at my computer now, and I'm going to quickly show you how to join 2 of the quilting designs together for our 9-patch blocks if you choose. So I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials. Don't forget, if you want to purchase Embellishment Essentials, please use my affiliate link. I will add a link up here. Click on that and type in, or click on Embellishment Essentials. Essentials is the one that I show you how to use. All right, so the first thing always is to check what hoop size you're on. I'm on my 9x14, and actually I think that's what I'm going to need. I showed you yesterday how the 6x6, it's going to be 12.5, right? 6x6, it'll actually be 13 inches. So that's too big for an 8x12 hoop unless you take out that steps 3 and 4, which is what makes it larger. So I'm going to go ahead and stay on my 9x14 hoop, and I'm going to go up to Merge Stitch File, this button right here, and I'm going to look in my Jingle All the Way Quilting, and let's see. This is the embroidery files. I need to go to the quilting bundle right there, and I want Celebration 3. Why am I not seeing that? Jingle All the Way Quilting Bundle. Celebration 3 right there, sorry. All right, Celebration 3 embroidery files. Pez is what I use for my machine, and then we're looking for the 6x6 design. So I'm just going to scroll down. And let's see here, right there. So 6x6, isn't that cute with the bows? I was thinking it would be cute if there was 1 bow on each of the blocks, but you can see there's only 5 blocks on the entire, or 5 bows on the entire thing. So obviously it won't work out that way, but super cute design for this 9-patch block. So I'm going to double click on that. It goes to the center. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and change these colors. I showed you yesterday that we need to change those default blues and oranges so that we can have it join the parts that we want to join and not join the parts that we don't want to join. All right, so I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected. Then I'm going to click on 1-1. So you can see right here, 1-1. I'm going to click down here in the properties window onto the color. So click on the color, and then I'm just going to choose the first color that comes up. For me is dark aqua because I'm on Fil-Tec Glide. And again, it doesn't matter what color you choose, it's just to be able to determine colors, all right? So that's 1-1. Now I'm going to click on 1-2, click on the color, and the first color that comes up for me is Blaze. I'm going to say okay. Default blue on this 1-3, click on 1-3, then click down here in the properties window on that default blue again. And we already used dark aqua. You can always see your colors right up here in the objects window. So the second color down is Marine. And I have a meeting in a little bit, but I think we can do this quick enough and we'll be fine. So I'm going to click on Marine, say okay, and then 1-4, click on the color, and we already used Blaze, so we're going to use Oriole this time. Say okay, I'm going to use Oriole, whatever your second color down is. All right, and then 1-5, we don't really need to change this because we're using black and red on both of them. It can be the same and there's no other turquoise, so you can skip the step if you want, or you can do it very quickly. Click on the color. I'm choosing Sprout, say okay, and that one is done. All right, so I clicked outside so nothing is selected. Now I'm going to click on the design. Make sure that you have all 5 parts of the design, and I'm just going to use my arrow keys to move it up to the top of the hoop. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this compass and click H to make sure I'm seeing all of the hoop, and I am, so that's good. All right, so then while I have this selected, I'm going to hit Control C on my keyboard to copy that design, and then Control and V like victory to paste it. So now I have two of them. You can't tell because it's right on top of the first one, but you can see in the objects window that there are now two designs. So while that second one is selected, I'm going to hit my arrow key and I'm just going to bring it down to the bottom. You can use your mouse if you prefer, it doesn't matter. This keeps it to the center, but of course it doesn't matter since we just have two items in our hoop. All right, so I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected, and you can see we have a little space in between, and this works really well for my 9x14 hoop. So right here at the bottom of the right-hand corner, it'll tell you we've got 10 color steps, and we should be able to reduce that to half. So I'm going to go ahead and do a utility color sort. And it thinks. Don't forget to have these same settings that I have. All right, tolerance at 0, and then click New View. It'll open a second tab, New View. All right, and now everything is in one design. So in the first tab, we've got those two designs, but in the second tab that it created, then we've got them all together. So I'm going to just quickly look at those and make sure it did what I think it should do. So there's our placement of our batting. You can see that those are together, so we can work on them at the same time and save a lot of time and space and stabilizer. All right, so that's 1, 1. 1, 2 is the tack down of the batting, and those are together. 1, 3 is the placement of our main fabric, and those are together. 1, 4 is the tack down or the basting stitch of our main fabric, and then we have our quilting designs together. So you wouldn't want those together if you were going to use a different color, like if one set was blue and green of blocks and another set was purple and pink, then you may want a different thread color, and so then you wouldn't have sprout on both of them. But I know that since they're the same colors, I'm going to use the same color thread. So I have mine all together, so this is perfect. I'm clicking outside so nothing's selected. I'm going to click File, Save Stitch File As, make sure As, so that you're not saving over anything. And then I'm going to call this 9 patch, move that so we can see 9 patch times 2, and save it. So that saves it to my computer. If you are using a USB stick, you could save it to your USB stick. You would just navigate to where you want it saved. And then I'm going to go to Utility, Send to Solaris XP1, and it is done. And that's all we needed to do for today. So let's go ahead and get started stitching. my shirt today is a really simple one. It's a super old shirt, like crazy old, several, probably 20 years old, but it's been sitting in a cupboard waiting to get embroidered. So I actually pulled it out from before. But anyway, it is a very simple faith cross design. Excuse me. Faith design. I found it on Etsy. I will add a link underneath this video. And then I added just a little bit of bling, just a tiny little bit of rhinestones. I thought that was pretty cute. Very simple design, super quick stitch out on a very old shirt. So I will add information of where I got the Faith design underneath this video. So how are you doing with your goals? So I'm starting to hear a little bit of the goals and what you guys are going to be working on. I'm so proud of you. It's so nice to always be pushing ourselves to be our best selves. So as I told you, my goal is to work on projects in between our Jingle All the Way quilt. And actually, I embroidered, I think, like 5 or 6 shirts while I was prepping this video. So while I was cutting and ironing and doing all of the really boring stuff, I had my machine running in the background. And so it did make the prep process a little bit longer, but it's part of my goal, right? I'm trying to work on getting some things done that have been weighing on my mind, have been sitting out in my craft room waiting for me to work on. So I was pretty happy about that. I got that done. I will share photos of all of those the shirts that I made, and you'll see them during the time of this project, I'm sure. But so I'm pretty happy with that. I got a bunch of stuff done out of my drawer. That was good to get that done. And I have a bunch more to do. So I'm going to keep on working on different things. And as far as my other goal, I'm using that My Net Diary app, and I'm logging in my food every single day. I'm super religious about it. I am like absolutely on target with adding in all of my exercise, all of my foods, all of my water intake, getting my sleep. I'm working really hard on it. So my first week, which was last week, I lost 3.2 pounds, which I was really excited about. Usually that happens in the first week because you're bloated and you're just kind of getting rid of water weight type of thing. And this second week, I have not lost anything, and I'm so frustrated by it because I'm doing all the right things. I'm eating very little calories. I'm working out. I'm probably not eating quite enough, but in the app, I'm logging it all and it says I'm on target. So I really enjoy this app. It really tells you, like, it keeps you on target and it holds you accountable, right? If my husband the other day said, "Oh, I'm going to go get us a caramel apple." And I'm like, no. No sugar. I'm doing so good with this. And so I did really good. I said, you can get one, absolutely, but do not get one for me. So I am definitely staying on target with my goals so far. It's going to be harder when we're on vacation in a week or so, but just going to do what I can. So how are you doing with your goal? Give me an update. I want to hear about what your goal is and what you're doing on it and what you're doing to work toward that goal. I want to hear about it.